Right, well that's got that out of the way then. Hello everybody, another Friday. And a glorious week of opportunities lies behind us, and peeking over the horizon is the next week of more glorious opportunities laid out before us. I've got to stop reading these self-help books. It's not working. Right, I want to go straight into last week, if you see what I mean. It's confusing me, I don't know about you. Last week we went to Saul Junction, and there we saw where the Severn Thames Canal meets the Gloucestershire Ship Canal. And a few people from locally around have reminded me that they're actually still restoring that canal, but they've chosen to start in one of the most difficult areas you can imagine. When they built the motorway here, they rearranged the A38 and they plonked it over the top of the canal. And not just the A38, they actually plonked a roundabout over the canal as well. So now they're digging it out. What confuses me slightly is the cost in there must be phenomenal. And yet there must be miles, well there are miles and miles and miles of canal that just need digging out and a little bit of work, and they could have got so much more bang for their buck, if you like. I guess there's something to do with grants, or there's got to be something in it. But anyway, the restoration is going on. I think the plan is initially to get it as far as Stroud, which makes it the Stroudwater Canal, which is precisely the way that it was built in the first place. They built the section to Stroud, and then somebody had the bright idea to carry on to meet up with the Thames and join it all up. So that you then had a whole network from London all the way through to Gloucester, Bristol, the West Country. Brilliant concept. But, if you take a look at the works that are going on down there, and thank you for the helicopter. This is actually a helicopter training route around here, so we get these things going pretty much all day, every day. A fact of life. Anyway, in the 1700s somebody had the brilliant idea of building this canal, and they've got it done. And I think from memory it took about 8 to 10 years to build it. Well, the section that they're doing down on the Bristol Road at the moment by the roundabout is probably going to take a year to do what is effectively a couple hundred yards. Amazing. Well, I would have thought that they could have spent the money nearer to Saul, where we were last week, because you remember that bridge with the low clearance? If they were to make that into a proper bridge that you could get a boat under, then they could join up a whole long section of canal, rather than just sticking this piece in the middle of a roundabout next to the M5. And there's the next challenge, the M5 motorway has got to be done somehow, but well, there you go. But, you look at the project, and if you look at my film, the Thames to Severn Canal, and I'll put another end screen on with that in case you haven't seen it and want to have a look at it. And if you look at the unrestored canal, and you think they're never going to do that, they're never going to restore it, but you talk to the people involved, yes they are. Oh, it's amazing, they've got so much enthusiasm, and they've actually surveyed the whole route end to end, and every single problem they've got some sort of an answer for. So, you know, from that point of view it looks viable. But what amused me, once they'd come up with their plans of restoring the canal, immediately all the landowners along the whole length started objecting to it and started saying, we don't want yobbos running boats just past the end of our land and all that type of thing, which is precisely the objections that were raised in the 1720s when they decided to dig it out in the first place. So 300 years and some things never change. That's amazing, makes me laugh. Anyway, next week, railways. Yes, we're off to railways. I know we all love railways, and I'm returning here now to the Cheltenham to Banbury direct railway. I've covered sections of this, and every time I think, well, I've reached a point now where I'll leave it there, I won't do any more, and then somebody comes up and says, well, what about this bit? So I've been tempted to go back and have a look, and the bit we're on next week is, yeah, pretty impressive. It's Hook Norton, and there once was a huge viaduct spanning the valleys there. There's actually two viaducts joined by a piece in the middle, and the viaduct was absolutely huge. It was actually called at the time the Pyramids of Oxford. They're deemed to be that difficult to build, and they certainly look impressive. Now, what's there now, I don't know. It's been a long time closed. I know all the steel bridging sections have gone. Whether the pillars are still there or not, I wouldn't like to say. But it's not built out of brick, it's built out of stone. So they were using stone blocks, some of which were reckoned to weigh about 9 tons, and they were using wooden scaffolding and pulley blocks. And no machinery involved, and it's frighteningly difficult. When you look at it, you just have to admire it. And then if you look from the photographs at the taper on the post, it just looks perfect. I hope to goodness something of that is left. So we'll go and take a look, see what's there, see if we can get to it, if we can find it there. Now, some people have cat phobias. We've got one in the family, and I was told off the other week because we had a cat in Adderstrop, wasn't it? In Adderstrop, and she didn't get warned. So Sonia, there's a cat this week, love. Just pay attention. Cats, what's wrong with cats? I have to say, they are a pest sometimes. Worst thing you can do is stroke them. If you're out on a walk and you meet a cat, go the other way. Otherwise they'll follow you. You can't get rid of the blessed things. Anyway, Sonia, there is a cat. So we'll get going next week. Bring along your sustenance. Now, Level Crossing, aka Tim, will no doubt be bringing his cheese and onion crisp sandwiches again. You bring what you feel better with. This is a virtual walk after all. And perhaps you let us know in the comments what your favourite walking tipple is, or sustenance, or what sandwiches you take. Join in the general fun. Good old Tim. Right, so I've been a bit easy on you lately, haven't I? I haven't done too much walking, but for this one you will need your walking boots, and we'll do a bit of tramping. And so if we all meet here then, virtually, next Friday, and we'll go and see the Pyramids of Oxfordshire. Don't be late, see you then.